everyone, and we are back with our guest for today. This is Hayley Dunn of the Holyoke Parade Committee. As you can see, we are in the Delaney House, and we are on location today, which is new for us, and we hope to be doing a lot more in the new year. Hayley, we like our guests to tell our audience who they are in their own words. So could you share a little bit about who you are?
I'd be happy to. So my name is Hayley, and I'm currently the president of the Holyoke St. Patrick's Parade Committee. I'm a longtime member of the committee myself. I'm a native of Holyoke, moved out, after college, lived in Boston for quite some time, but moved back to start a family, and, Holyoke and the parade and all their traditions that come with it just run so deep in my bones and my blood and within my family. So it's an incredible honor to be leading the 71st Holyoke St. Patrick's Parade and all the festivities that go along with it this year.
I have a question. How does one become the president of the parade?
It's quite a few years in the making. So, there's quite a process. I actually ran to be president of the parade back in, I think it was 2019. So it's a 3-year process. So you run to become the president 3 years out. So you then become, second vice president, first vice president. So you get to work with those presidents of the year to see how the parade actually runs and to get that understanding. Then, of course, COVID happened. So I was actually supposed to be president of the parade last year, but, COVID set us back a couple of years. And here I am and excited to lead the parade on St. Patrick's Day this year.
Which is unusual. Usually it's a few days after or before. So the fact that it's actually on St. Patrick's Day, which means they're probably going to go all out and people are going to be absolutely insane, right?
Yes. Yeah, we're really excited. It's been a few years since we had the parade on St. Patrick's Day. Historically, the parade is always the Sunday immediately following St. Patrick's Day. So, really excited. It's going to be a phenomenal weekend. Phenomenal weeks leading up to the parade. The whole entire community, the whole entire Western Mass region really gets ready for this weekend. They all have their own celebrations, but it all culminates in the Holyoke St. Patrick's Parade.
So the parade is like this big, huge thing here in Massachusetts to the point that people put out their chairs days ahead, and families have these wild celebrations starting early in the morning until late at night, and it's just... People have family traditions around this, right? Does your family have a tradition?
We certainly do. It's actually, we have a moniker for it here in Holyoke. It's homecoming weekend. So you may have family and friends that don't come home for Christmas, but they always come home for parade weekend because we have the parade on Sunday. We have the annual 10K Holyoke St. Patrick's Road Race on Saturday, which is a very difficult 10K race that runs all throughout the city and ends in this amazing block party in downtown Holyoke. So lots of bars and music and food and other entertainment all downtown Holyoke on Saturday. Lots of events, leading up to that weekend. So, my family, we certainly have our own traditions. My family's been a part of the parade committee for 50 plus years. My sister's on the committee, my father, my aunt, and lots of my good friends. And so we have our own traditions. We have the same, restaurants that we go to and bars and celebrations. We all watch the parade at a certain spot every year. You talked about reserving your spot days in advance.
It's like this insane thing.
It's true.
And run, the best thing is, one, everyone complains about the hills because Holyoke has hills. Yeah. And two, people dress in the wackiest costumes. They get into this. This is full on celebrating the Irish.
It's an incredible weekend. It really and truly is. We're very proud of this. Holyoke is an incredibly diverse city, and we celebrate that and we love that. But the fact that we can all come together, as one community and celebrate all that's great about the city on St. Patrick's Day weekend, homecoming weekend, is really something special. And we're really proud that we're going on 71 years of being able to carry on this incredible tradition. We're growing each and every year. Our membership is growing. We bring in new entertainment every year. We stream it. It's televised live every year. So, Holyoke on St. Patrick's Day on Parade Weekend is really an incredibly special event. And again, I'm just incredibly honored to be a part of it this year.
You sound like the perfect person to be the president. I always like it because for me, this is a whole new cultural thing for me because the Italian girl gets to be Irish for a weekend and have fun and party and learn new things. And I was telling Kelly before we started that in high school, I had to be in that parade several times. And it was a different experience every single time.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. You know, we have, and you mentioned you were in the color guard, so we have lots of different. Sorry to put you in this spot, but you know, the great thing about our parade is that it's not just marching contingents. We have lots of different types of music. We bring up the mummers from Pennsylvania. We have a few mummers contingents with their feathers and their incredible instruments and their dances. We have a few different other marching bands from high schools that travel from Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York that come up each and every year. We have over a dozen floats every year. So these are floats that that local businesses build or schools. We have colleens that ride on floats. We have lots of other different entertainment. Can you explain to them what
colleens are? I'm not sure everybody knows what that is.
Sure. So a colleen is a young woman that in many of the communities that make up our parade. That's another great thing about our parade is it's regional. So it's in Holyoke, but we have different communities that surround it that are a part of it and help to make it so successful. And many of the communities have their own colleen. So they're young women that they're chosen by their education, their poise, and how they speak in public and how they present themselves. And it's a wonderful opportunity for young women to vie to be a colleen because it really gives you skills that you carry on through your life. I was a colleen court member 20 plus years ago, and it
nobody
was really,
do that now, please.
No, please don't. And it was really one of the most rewarding experiences of my life because you really represent the parade committee. You represent your city, your hometown at different events. You get to meet with school children and get to work with them. You do lots of public speaking and poise, and it's really things that carry on through your life and incredible skills. So there are opportunities to for young women to represent their community, and they get a tiara, they get some other great things.
Every girl likes a tiara.
Who doesn't love a tiara? But it's just an opportunity to be a part of a fun tradition, and it really is great opportunities. And these colleens get to represent their community on a float in our parade.
So what are some of the highlights? I mean, 71 years is a long tradition. What have been some of the highlights over the years? And what of some of the notable grand marshals you've had?
Oh my gosh, we've had incredible award winners throughout the 71 years of our parade. We have our annual national award winner, which is called the John F. Kennedy Award, which obviously was named in honor of the former president after his passing, but it's a national award recipient. I remember years ago, Maureen O'Hara, the beautiful actress, she was our JFK Award winner in the 80s. She actually came back in 1999 to be back in our parade. And so we've had incredible, actresses, authors, politicians, other dignitaries. We had David McCullough and Doris Kearns Goodwin, Pulitzer Prize winning authors that are part of our parade. They came into Holyoke for the weekend and enjoyed the road race. They enjoyed the parade. They marched in our parade and just celebrated, with us. And it was an incredible honor to meet them and have them be a part of our parade. We had, folks from finance and be a part of it. Ambassador Award recipients are individuals that have helped to, enhance the relationship between Ireland and the United States. So we've had ambassadors be in our parade last few years. Claire Cronin, the current U.S. ambassador to Ireland, was in our parade. She was here in Holyoke last year. Incredible honor to meet her. So just really an incredible cadre of award winners and just folks from all types of industry come to Holyoke and enjoy our weekend.
Now, I think what people don't understand is, if I remember right, the parade's about 5 miles long or so.
It's a few miles. It is a few miles, and some of those hills from the road race are a part of it. But that's just what makes it unique. The fact that the parade winds throughout the city is incredible because you get to see all the great aspects of the city and allow all parts of the community to be a part of it and watch it from their house. Many folks and families throw their own parties, right on their porch, and we celebrate that and we encourage it. But it really get to see lots of great aspects of the city as you march down the street.
Now, we were talking about how you have the Colleens and we have the road race, and that's all leading up to it. But there's other events throughout the year that you guys have leading to it. So the parade is a culmination of a full year of events. Can you tell me about some of those events?
Absolutely. So we've come to be an all-year organization where we celebrate St. Patrick's Day all year round. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day, and we do celebrate all year round. So we have fundraisers and functions where we honor our award winners. So we have our Grand Marshal's reception coming up in early January, where we're going to honor our Grand Marshal, who is the individual that leads the parade, and they are chosen for their dedication to their heritage, their career, their family. And this year we're delighted to have Mary Lynch leading our parade, a longtime parade committee member, a former professor at Holyoke Community College, involved in lots of different nonprofit organizations. So she's going to lead our parade on the 17th. So we have a celebration for her, the Grand Coronation Ball, of course, where we'll crown and choose the Grand Colleen. Will be coming up in February. But on the off season, we have a golf tournament, a halfway to St. Patrick's Day golf tournament. We do cleanups around the city where we do our own volunteer days to help, just to give back to the community that gives us so much that weekend. We have other fundraisers. I'm wearing today our Holyoke tartan.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Reminds me of my school uniform.
Yeah, it is kind of, yes. The Holyoke tartan is colors that are emblematic of the flag of Ireland, United States, and the schools that make up the city of Holyoke, all woven into this beautiful fabric. And so we also sell this tartan fabric and other items that we sell, and helps to fundraise for our parade. So we have events that we sell our tartan. We have other events where music festivals, so lots of different things leading up to the parade. So all of our events are on our calendar. You can go take a look.
So I will put that website up on here for you guys to check out. And if you guys want to migrate this way to this side of the country from Massachusetts for St. Patrick's Day, I highly recommend it. Now, how many people are actually on the parade committee?
Oh my goodness.
Because you mentioned some other people that have been on it, and it seems like it keeps growing every time you talk about it. So I'm just curious, how many people are actually on the committee?
We have well over 100 members of the Holyoke committee, and then we have regional committees as well that also support our parade. But we have well over 100 committee members that come out, and we meet monthly. Beginning in January, we meet every Sunday to plan for the parade. So it's a big commitment, a lot of hands on deck, a lot of hard work. We have members who have been a member of the committee for well over 50 years. Again, we are a 71-year-old organization, and it really is, we're a family. For good or for bad, we're a family. We meet a lot, and we do a lot of hard work together, planning for the parade, planning for the events, choosing award winners. It really does take a lot to put this one weekend on each and every year. Coordination with the city. We have, it's a full team effort working with the city and our public safety officials to make sure that everyone is safe and it's, a safe environment. So it's all hands on deck, but we're always looking for new members. We can use all the time and talent that folks have to offer, whether your background is in fundraising or marketing or planning. We're incredibly lucky that we have such a diverse group of.
Do you have to be Irish to be on the committee?
You do not have to be Irish to be a member. Absolutely not. No, it's, that's the other great thing about our parade is it's celebrated to honor, St. Patrick and Irish heritage. But it's a celebration of all that's great about Western Massachusetts. So you do not need to be Irish to be part of the committee. Although we do, celebrate lots of things that are Irish. That's not a qualification.
Well, so let's talk about how you say it expands every year. Before we let you go, what are one or two of the highlights that are like new this year, like a little teaser for the parade?
Oh, that's a great question. And so in the last couple of years, we have invited this young group from New York that have been coming up the last 2 years, and they've actually come and on Saturday and kind of perform throughout the weekend. But they're a drumline from New York, and they are incredible. They're young individuals from Brooklyn. They're called Brooklyn United. So they've been incredibly popular, and so we've invited a couple more drumline bands from New England to join our parade, and so we're really excited to have some more of that entertainment in our parade. We have some other forms of entertainment, so we have, of course, our music and our marching contingents and our floats, but we do have some other exciting things that I think will get the kids excited. I'm not ready to, we'll be able to, if you check out our social media, we'll be announcing some of our new entertainment over the next month or so, but really excited just to have entertainment for all kids and ages to enjoy. So there's really something for everybody to enjoy at the Holyoke St. Patrick's Parade.
Did you hear that? It is a family event. The whole weekend is family friendly. I mean, there are some adult things that we don't want the kids to come to, but the parade is a family friendly event that we all want you to come to Holyoke, Massachusetts to experience. Yeah. So I will put all the information up for you guys to see. Hayley, thank you so much for joining
having me. Thank you. This is fun. Bye. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Liz Teresa. I help women launch and build online businesses they love.
I needed to give my brand a web presence, but I didn't speak tech. Enter Liz Teresa. With lightning speed, she got the essence of my brand. Her guidance notes, her tips were practical and concrete.
She's the #1 person in my life. I'm so happy she came to me.
So thank you, Liz Teresa. I am so excited to keep working with you.
Cordiff, right? Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Of the Delaney House. He is the executive chef here. And Mick isn't only the executive chef, he's from Ireland.
Yes, indeed.
So whereabouts in Ireland were you?
So I'm from West Kerry. Everybody's familiar with Dingle. Yes. I grew up in a little village, Ballinioneg, which is right outside of Ballyferter, right on the Slayhead coast, or the Atlantic Way as they call it nowadays. So that's, So I had family in Springfield, and in '89 I moved to Springfield, and got right into the kitchens in the Western Mass area, and fell in love with the area and haven't left.
You know, it's kind of funny. I moved to Springfield about the same time too. So we're going to see in a little bit you cooking some Irish dishes for us. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to make and maybe a little bit of the history behind them that you know? Sure.
So we're gonna whip up 2 dishes today. We're gonna do a beef stew, which is a traditional beef stew. Growing up, we'd have a lot of lamb or a lot of beef. It really depended on what was available at the time. Right. And you know, stews are, and the one pot cooking over there is very popular. You put it on the stove in the morning or over the fire, and let it cook all day. The men would go out in the bog or out in the farm and work long, hard days. And when they came home, the stew would, the aromas would fill up the house, and you'd have a nice big bowl of stew, warm the heart, warm the soul, and everybody was happy.
Kind of like a Sunday dinner kind of feel,
yes,
right?
Yes, a Sunday dinner, same concept.
So it's a big farming community where you grew up, right?
Yeah, so in the Dingle area, or West Kerry, there's nowadays is a massive amount of tourism that goes through there. But growing up, it was farming, fishing, and then you had the tourism industry, which was not quite as popular as it is today. But it definitely was a big, intricate part of the peninsula's income. But we had a small farm, a bed and breakfast, so my mom did all the cooking and stuff, and that's how I kind of got into it. Started working in pubs and restaurants around there and hotels, and got my start, if you would. And picked up a few dishes along the way. The stew we're going to make today is one that you'd probably come across in any pub as you tour the countryside these days. And then the second item we're going to make is corned beef Reuben.
Okay.
Which is more of an American sandwich, even though it's
more
all
like
over the place.
Irish American.
Yeah. But you wouldn't come across a Reuben in, say, Dingle. You just wouldn't see it. Very popular toasty sandwiches over there, which is just a melty, gooey toasted sandwich.
Kind of like a grilled cheese or panini type sandwich.
Same concept, yes. But the Reuben around here, or at least in Holyoke, is a staple on our menu, and goes great alongside a nice pint of Guinness when you're celebrating the Shamrocks.
That actually sounds nice, especially since it's so cold outside.
Yeah.
That sounds like it'll just warm your heart and your soul from the inside out, right?
Yeah, well, I was prepping it earlier. The guys are like, what are you doing with it when it's done? Because they are chilly as they're coming in the back door there. So we'll definitely have plenty for everybody.
How long have you worked for the Delaney House?
So I've been around with the log cabin and Delaney House since 1996.
Oh, wow.
Started as a chef and then became partner way back in 2000. So we bought the Delaney House in 2003. So it's been 20 short, fast years.
20 short and fast years.
Yeah, so we're having a lot of fun. The restaurant was in the banquet business for, almost 20 years. And I worked for Marriott before that and had, a little bit of banquets, restaurant, everything. And when the Delaney House came along, it kind of became a new passion, if you would, to take over. Delaney House has had a lot of traditions over the years. It had tremendous ownership going back, and it's been a staple in Holyoke for, anniversaries, weddings, special occasions, and we just try to really live up to that history and live up to the high expectations of the Valley and deliver on that.
I remember coming here for a special occasion when I was really little. It looked a little different back then. But I remember thinking how big this place seemed. And now that I'm here today, it doesn't seem nearly as big.
No.
Kind of like you grow up, things seem a little smaller.
Yeah, my wife still comes and she still remembers going in the ladies' room with the golds and all that stuff. And really not much has changed in the ladies' room. We, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But
it has the best lighting. I have to tell you, ladies, that ladies' room has great lighting.
But there's 13 little dining rooms. So while it might not feel really big, there can be a lot going on, and each room has its own character, its own charm. The library is probably the most romantic of all the rooms, so it's very popular on some. It's very popular this time of year, cozy by the fireplace, and as we get closer to Valentine's and all the lovebirds come out, we'll be very popular. And then the bar, the Mick area, is always extremely popular as well. Everybody wonders about, do I have to get dressed up? And the motto is lighten up around here, and just come and relax and have a really good dinner and enjoy the atmosphere. We do a lot of music on weekends and stuff like that. So,
are you planning anything special for St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, we have a full weekend that weekend. Friday, Saturday, we have live entertainment, brunch on the Sunday, but usually the Holyoke crowd are up and out early and got their chairs and their coolers all set and ready to go very early. But Friday night we do like an Irish menu special all weekend long, and then there's entertainment with Irish featured entertainment. Saturday night's usually really busy after the road race, so you get your steps in, and then you come join us for a couple of pints of Guinness or whatever needs to, depending on the weather, and maybe a corned beef dinner or a Reuben or some beef stew. So.
It inevitably is either raining or cold the day of the race, so everybody wants to come in and warm up.
Yes. We do have a food truck down there too at the end. So
you do? Okay.
Yeah. So and there's plenty of beer to go around down there. A lot of activities down at the finish line.
Please drink responsibly.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, we are not encouraging you to drink any other way but responsibly. So, what was your favorite thing about St. Patrick's Day? Like the differences between growing up in Ireland and growing up here?
In Ireland, it's more of, I'd say, call it a holy day, like Easter. It was kind of, during Lent, and if you had given up candy for Lent, that was kind of your one cheat day. I do remember that as a kid. And, the adults would be able to go down the pub, and there'd be more people around in the pub on the Sunday. Or if was treated like a Sunday, no matter what day of the week it landed on. One of my fondest memories on St. Patrick's Day is the local football club that I played for made it to the All-Ireland final in 2004.
Oh, wow.
And I flew over on St. Patrick's Day to Ireland, to Dublin, went to the game. Unfortunately, we lost by a point, but it was a bit of a Hoosiers kind of moment for the club. It's a tiny club, and to make it all the way to the Super Bowl of Ireland for the club was something special. And that's probably one of my most memorable. The parade every year is awesome. As the kids get older, you go to the parade for different things. If it's not the big bands coming through or the floats, the colleens are always a favorite. It's always great to see people from the area.
Do you have a tradition with your family?
Yeah, we usually go down by the hospital and set up shop and head down there. Rain, snow, wind, cold, it doesn't really matter. We're always down there supporting all the crew. We marched the Citizenship Award winner years and years ago. Seems like moons ago now. So I'm familiar with the track. It is quite a hike. Most of it's downhill though. So for those of you complaining, settle down a small bit. So but it is a really awesome day, and it's a great thing for Holyoke.
It's something to be seen. I mean, I know that it was originally a holy day, but to come and have fun and that camaraderie and making everybody feel like they're included, it's a rare thing these days. And it's something that happens every year around here. And it is the biggest celebration you will see. And I believe it's one of the bigger celebrations here in the Northeast. So I'd have to ask Hayley again.
Yeah, we'd have to ask her about that. But I know it's one of the largest parades in the country, which is phenomenal. And they do get a large draw, different bands, floats from all over the country, across the world, I feel like at this stage. Dignitaries, I know we're here from Ireland.
Well, technically you're across the world.
Technically. I think Holyoke has adopted me at this stage, so they got their hooks in me and I never left. So they massive crowds. The parade itself is so organized, and it takes a year of work behind the scenes.
Do you plan your menu that long, or because you're Irish, you're like, I know what I'm going to eat this year. I know what my clientele likes.
I kind of have it easy when it comes to St. Patrick's Day. Maybe not every holiday or every special we come up with in the restaurant, but that weekend is more of a staple item. The old faithfuls, if you would.
Well, to me, that sounds like it is time to get cooking and to see what Mick has to offer us.
Let's get busy.
So stay tuned, and we're going to be moving into the kitchen.
Righty.
I'm Gary.
And I'm Gina.
And we're the hosts on Fire and Light Talk. So join us every Thursday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Positive vibrations right here on E360 TV.
Alright, everybody, we are in the kitchen with Mick Cordiff of the Delaney House, and he's going to show us some Irish dishes. It looks like we are starting with the Irish stew you mentioned?
Yes, we're going to start with the stew. So I have my veggies here. I have my pot on, warming up, get it nice and hot. There we got some carrots, some celery, and we got some parsnips.
Yes.
So the pan's nice and hot. In goes my beef. Some sirloin. Trimmed most of the fat off, but I left a little bit on there for the added labor of flavor. Yeah, for a stew, you want to go with not a tougher meat, but something that can stand up to it and cook for hours. If you go with a tenderloin, you'd be coming back to like shredded beef, so sirloin definitely has more to it. So, and we'll pop in our veggies. A little bit of carrots, celery, onion. And then over here I have my parsnips.
Yum.
And there you go. Just like that. And then we'll allow that to cook up.
It's very colorful.
Season it with some salt and pepper. Okay. And I have a little bit of Worcestershire.
Okay, so what does that do to it?
That just adds another depth of flavor. And then over here I have a little bit of tomato paste. down the bottom. We're gonna let that burn up in there. And that again just adds up another depth of flavor in there.
Waking up all the veggies in there with it.
Getting everything going in there. So that'll cook up. So I want to sear the beef so it seals in the juices in the beef.
And typically, how long does that take if we're not doing some TV magic?
If we're not doing TV magic, that should take probably about 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
So allow it to sear up and allow it to darken right up. And then what I'll do is I'll take Old Faithful here.
The Irish
Guinness
stable.
stew. Or the Guinness, pint of Guinness. In goes the beer. Alrighty, 1 can should do it. Or a pint if you have a draft, if you're lucky enough to have a draft. And then here I have a little beef stock. And what I want to do is I just want to cover the veggies in the beef enough with the stock. Then we're going to season it again with a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic, minced garlic. I don't add the garlic when it's sauteing. I don't want it to burn and get bitter. So a little bit of bay leaf. And then for those cold days, things a little chilly, I add a little bit of
Give you a little tingle in
a little
there.
crushed red pepper in there, or cayenne, whatever spice you have. I mean,
Oh, I'm all for the heat.
okay. What we're going to do is we're just going to add in a couple of potatoes. And the potatoes, as the stew will cook down,
Do you have a preferred potato for this?
we use the red skin potatoes. We get them up in Hatfield locally, so it's kind of nice to support the local guys, and they do hold up in the stew and will cook down nicely. And then we're just going to take a little bit of herbs, a little bit of parsley,
Rosemary.
a little bit of rosemary, and the rosemary again will add a little bit of spice to it. But there you go. We'll
After all this, you just leave it on the stove all day.
all that, now you grab your boots and off to work you go for a day on the farm. Milk the cows, dig the turf, whatever it is your job is at hand.
This is the equivalent of like the Italian meat sauce. You leave
Yes.
it on the stove all day, you get it going, and then when you come home, you got
Set
it
it
ready
and
for
forget it, yes.
Essentially,
But as
yes.
that cooks all day, sometimes you might have to add a little bit of water, and the starch from the potatoes will thicken that right up. So this
Okay.
is also gluten-free, and that's very popular these
Oh,
days.
see, I like that because you all know that I'm gluten-free, so the word's gluten-free for me is wonderful. All right, so we'll be right back, and Mick will be back to show us his other dish.
Excited on me.
I know, right? All right, we are back in the kitchen with Mick Cordiff, and he's going to show us a Reuben, which is one of your
This is one of our staples here at the Delaney House.
Delaney
Yes, yes. So we have the corned beef here, all sliced up, ready to roll.
How long does corned beef take to make?
Oh, we brine all our corned beef in house, and it actually goes in the brine for 10 days. So that's quite a bit. And then we cook it in our slow roaster, so it boils overnight. Our braise is overnight. So slow and low, as they say. So that seems to be the motto on some of this Irish cooking, if you haven't caught on. So right here I have some rye bread drawing, Swiss cheese on top. Then we'll add a little bit of the sauerkraut.
Oh, you're heating it up right on
Oh
top.
yeah, we gotta have it heated up.
Okay.
I think some people on a corned beef sandwich like the kraut cold, but we tend to.
Everyone does it a little differently.
Everybody
so I'm
has
just
their own.
curious.
Yes, and this is more of a thick cut, more than a deli cut, so it is on the thicker side. So we'll get our bread toasting up
Oh,
there.
it's turning nice and golden brown. That's what you
Yes,
want,
it
right?
is. So.
So what's the cheese to meat ratio in one of these?
Oh, I'm a big. I like cheese on both sides.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like a good grilled cheese, and then plenty of meat. You want to see plenty of meat in a sandwich. An old timer one time used to crack me up and say, "I want more meat than I see on Good Friday." So he wants, you never know what he wants in there. So,
that's a good one.
Yeah. So here we go. We'll take our corned beef and pop that on there. Searing up. You want to get the cheese melting too, so by the time you get everything in.
Nice and gooey.
There we go.
Now you said you made your Thousand Island.
We make our Thousand Island. Yeah, so you take relish. There's a little spice in that as well that we add to it just to give it a little kick.
Your kind of signature thing, or is there a lot more spice in Irish cooking than I thought there was?
No, I mean everybody probably has a few tricks that they have, but you know, for us around here, we always have a couple of little extra things that we add to it, so it's nice, you know, not just store-bought
Your secret
concept.
sauce, if you will.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, nice and toasted.
Get that on there, turn that off. Or we burn the Delaney House down, so.
Oh, we don't want that.
We
That's
don't
bad
want that.
TV, people.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Nice and juicy. And then pop that one right on top.
Beautiful.
Give that to my little friend over there. There you go.
Perfect.
Fast, slow. What do we do again?
Thank
Got
you,
everything?
Mick, for
You're
coming
welcome.
to share your traditions and
You're-
talk about
you're
what
so
Delaney House
welcome.
is doing for St. Patrick's Day. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you soon.